voices or the clarity of speech. Okay?
So men's voices, can you repeat that again?
Yeah. So in the bass sounds, so that's men's voices, the volume of speech, knowing if someone's talking to you, she hears a little bit better than the high pitches.
Okay.
Women's voices, children's voices, or the clarity of speech. But even in the bass sounds, we're having about a moderate, creeping up to moderately severe hearing loss. And then the high pitches are moderately severe, closer to severe hearing loss.
So high pitches are?
Yeah. So we do have quite a bit of hearing loss in those ears. And I would recommend hearing aids at this time.
Okay. Both ears, or can we tell which ear?
Both ears. So everything with hearing we want to be the same. Anything in the body you want to be symmetrical. And both of our ears are lining up to be about the same. Then that's a good sign. That means we're not really thinking there's any kind of a medical component. So if you see a big difference between two ears, there could be a medical component. But everything with this lines up between both ears. And then when we checked with the headband, so when we stimulate the hearing organ directly, we're hearing the same way as when we play the sounds through the ear. So when we bypass anything that could happen in the middle ear space, fluid, congestion, even wax there, we're hearing the exact same way. So no concerns for any of that. This is just hearing loss that comes with age, genetics, and noise exposure over time. Okay. Happens to everybody.
Yes, because I noticed when I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there could be a little bit of a genetic component there because you have a little bit more hearing loss than, on average. So definitely want to get you treated there. Okay. But what was your question?
My question, I had a couple, I guess. I guess having a female voice, my voice, although I think I'm kind of more, whatever.
You speak very clearly. Yeah,
but I think she has trouble hearing me. So when I talk to her, should I be raising my voice, coming closer?
So a lot of people ask me that question. So right now, before we get hearing aids, and if you choose not to get hearing aids, when you're trying to communicate, the number one thing is you want to be in a well-lit room with as little background noise as possible, facing each other, and within 6 feet. So sound breaks down about 6 feet apart. But if we ask for repetition, the best thing to do is actually slow down your voice rather than raise it. We do need help with volume based on our hearing loss, but mostly what happens when we have this amount of hearing loss is that our brain just has trouble keeping up with the timing of speech. So if you actually slow down what you're saying, and you're not silly or anything, it's just that it'll help your ears kind of catch up. That's all.
Okay.
So if you just repeat it a little bit slower, that will help.
Okay. I guess the other thing is we're going to sorry, this is all new to me, but we're going to an airport next week, so there's going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of noise. Is there anything I should know for communication there?
Oh, that's going to be a really hard listening environment.
Yeah. Just be close when I talk to her?
Close, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Nice and close. That's going to be the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about at night when she watches TV or listens to the radio? Should I have it higher so she can hear it?
Yes, nothing's harmful to our hearing.
Okay.
It just might be bothersome to anyone else, in the area. Yeah. But that is not harmful to our ears. Yeah.
Okay. And she would need the hearing aids in both ears?
Both ears, and I would recommend custom mold as well.
Okay.
So we would take impressions of our ears and get the hearing aids to be made custom for your hearing. It's really important with the amount of hearing loss that we have that we keep all the hearing that we can inside the ear. So keeping it trapped with a mold is going to be very important.
Okay. And does that get done with the doctor or by the doctor?
I'm actually a doctor of audiology, so I can take the impressions here.
Okay.
We can do everything here.
Okay.
It's just we have the approvals for Medicaid are just a little bit slower at this time.
That's fine.
So we'll have to keep you guys posted when everything is approved.
Okay.
I would suspect it's a few months. We're trying for our Medicaid patients to see if there's some kind of, demo program with the manufacturers or something we could do to tie everyone over in the meantime.
Oh, okay.
Because you actually, when you have Medicaid, you cannot pay out of pocket for hearing aids. You really are kind of forced to go through that program.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing. I mean, you get good hearing aids at no charge. Typically, I'll have to confirm with the insurance, but that's usual for Medicaid.
Okay, and how often, like, would she put them on first thing in the morning, take them off before bed? How does that work?
Wear them all day long, and you'll love them. You're going to love hearing better, so you're going to want to wear them all day, and it's really good for our brains and our ears.
Yeah, because part of understanding sometimes is just right?
Yes.
Okay, let's do the fitting. Mommy, you have questions?
No.
No?